Topping the news at 5:30, we're joined in studio for our recurring Ask the Mayor segment.
Mayor Chris Scanlon has, of course, just about a little over a month left in your term and your time there on the second floor there of the mayor's office. So let's get right to sort of the ending of this chapter and the beginning of really a new one, which is kind of going back a little bit here because you're going back to Common Council. And let's talk about you now working with a new administration, someone who you have had differing opinions on during a nasty campaign. What's that going to be like, and what do you think the relationship is going to be like with Mayor-elect Sean Ryan?
Well, listen, one thing that I've always prided myself on, my team has always prided itself on, is partnerships and collaboration. I've always talked about that, and I believe that's the best way for Buffalo to move forward. I don't think we will be at our best if people aren't collaborating and on the same page, pulling in the same direction. So even though people have differing opinions on how you want to get there, I think at the end of the day, everyone wants Buffalo to be the best version of itself. But it's a matter of working together and collaborating.
You'll represent the South District as you have. Anything you want to get done for South Buffalo?
Oh, yeah. You know, whether it's the South District or the rest of the city, you know, I've always kind of taken the approach of I'm elected by that one particular portion of the city, but it's important that we're also keeping our eyes on the whole city, not approaching things from a kind of parochial point of view, and making sure that we're looking through a lens that when you're deliberating legislation or trying to implement policy, that you're taking into consideration every corner, every neighborhood of the city of Buffalo.
There has been a fierce back and forth between you and the Comptroller's office, the Comptroller Barbara Miller Williams, in terms of the city's financing and then also on the budget. Where do things currently stand with all that? Because we know some of that is wrapped up in the courts. Yeah. What is going on with that relationship and paying the city's bills and getting city projects done on time? You
know, obviously, the big battle between the Comptroller and I right now is regarding our capital budget. The current year and obviously moving forward towards the next year. And I mean, if you ask me, it's sort of kind of reached a level of absurdity at this point. You know, I proposed a capital budget last year. The authorizing body, the Common Council, approved that spending, and nothing has happened. And the person who's being harmed is the resident, the taxpayer. You know, they're hurt in a number of ways, too. The projects aren't being completed because we haven't bonded out, and ultimately they're going to cost more to complete because of the delays. So we are in court. Obviously, Justice Koliakovo ruled in my favor, the council's favor, that the Comptroller does not have the authority to usurp the council's authorization. She decided to appeal that, and that's continuing to play out in the courts.
How do we make sure this doesn't happen for a second year in a row? Because you've already put that budget on the table for next year now, too. You know, we lost out on an entire construction season. Our roads are, you know, in shambles from last year's winter storms, and now there's another set of winter storms coming our way. What can we do moving forward here?
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part of these delays and what it's doing to our infrastructure, our buildings, how it's impacting our cultural institutions and other partners that we have. You know, thankfully, I want to thank the Common Council. Just this afternoon, they approved the 2026 capital spending plan, $95 million spending plan. And, you know, you asked, how do we avoid this? I was very clear that the last thing I wanted to do was go the legal route and go to court. I don't think it was a good look for the city. I hated having to do that, but we had to set the precedent to avoid this happening in the future. Personally, I believe it's very clear in the city charter how this plays out, what authority the Comptroller does have. Unfortunately, the Comptroller viewed that a different way, and because I felt the need, we had to establish some sort of precedent, we felt the need to go the legal route.
And will any of this affect snowplow service, any of those responsibilities that the city of Buffalo has to taxpayers and to residents, given the situation that's going on between the Comptroller and the Mayor's office?
I think we're okay for right now, but obviously there is equipment in those plans that we wanted to purchase. There's a delay on those. Obviously, if you order a fire truck, things like that, automobiles for the police department, vehicles for public works, there's a lag time there. So we wouldn't have had those vehicles this year, so shouldn't impact our storm response. We've been meeting regarding the weather that's coming in later this week, starting tomorrow. We're prepared. We have 38 pieces of equipment ready to go to move snow, lay down salt across the city of Buffalo. I've been talking to our partners in government, the county and the state level, should we need to add additional resources. They're ready, willing, and able to do that. And should things, weather really turn south and get bad, we have more than 24 private contractors ready to go.
Do you know where we're at with taxpayer funding? lawyer bills in this fight right now?
I don't have the number. Obviously, as this drags on, it continues to increase. That's another negative impact to the taxpayer. This is a bill that the city taxpayer has to pay. But again, I hated going this route. I didn't think it was it shouldn't have been the first choice, but at the end of the day, I really felt we had to set an established precedent here. So 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, this isn't happening again, that we know black and white through the courts who has what responsibilities and what authority.
Is it thousands? Is it tens of thousands of dollars
I would say you're
to pay a lawyer?
probably moving into the tens of thousands
Okay.
between my office and the controller's office,
Yeah.
the two different sets of counsel.
Let's get the latest from you on the Buffalo Parking and Mobility Authority. There have been some board members appointed to that board, so let's talk about that in the future for that authority.
Yeah. Things are moving along. The 5 appointees have been approved by the Buffalo Common Council. Those have been sent to the Department of State. The title and survey work is underway. The appraisal work is underway. We anticipate the appraisal information back in a couple of weeks, possibly as early as the first week of December. Early indications are that the appraisals are going to come in well above the budgeted $40 million. One thing I said is we wanted a budget conservatively for $40 million in revenue, but we always felt it was going to come in higher, and early indications are that it will come in higher. The board is set to have its first official meeting the first week of December. Bond counsel is in place, so things are moving along. Come January, February, they should be in a strong position to go out and bond out.
All right, that's all the time we have. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mayor,
Absolutely.
as always.